After 2 years each, the Dancer and Pirate themed banners have made room for new seasonal attire. Ninjas, however, are back for round 3. Why, you may ask? Well, like anything related to gacha games, I assume the answer is money. With that said, the Wyvern Ninja Banner is taking a different direction than the past 2 years. We have 4 flyers representing their class with Heath, Cherche, Camilla, and Duo Laegjarn and Fjorm. We'll be talking about everyone's stats and skills, plus discuss some playstyle and builds. First up, Ninja Heath is the 4-star focus unit, so you can get him at 4-star and 5-star rarity. As a unit, Heath will be a flying colorless archer. We only have 2 heroic girl flying archers, and I don't believe any demotes are previous 4-star focus ones, so Ninja Heath can be a pretty rare pickup outside the 5-star options. For stats, we have a theme this year that matches everyone's weapons. Heath has 42 HP, 43 attack, 23 speed, 40 defense, and 30 resistance. He has an attack super boon, and this is a very unique stat spread. The other slower flying archers like Dancer Quan and New Year's Plumeria either have high defense or high res. Heath kinda has some of both, and would have been alone in that regard if it wasn't for our new duo hero. Regardless, this is an interesting spread, and 43 base attack is gonna hurt a ton. For ult skills, we got Bonfire, which is no surprise. Heath has attack and defense catch 3, which is on Geralt and Sedgar, so not a huge deal. His main rarer passive is Pulse Smoke 3 to help mess up pre-charge specials. For his weapon, the Wyvern Yumi Plus is another ninja brave bow, but things are different this year. It has 6 might, grants plus 5 defense and res, inflicts -8 speed, and the user gets dual phase brave attacks. Unlike the Ninja Yumi Plus or past ninja brave weapons, this year we are sacrificing all speed to instead have enemy phase brave hits. With -8 speed, Heath may get doubled by even many arm units, and you only get +5 defense and res to weather all those hits. Where this weapon can shine is those brave counterattacks. If you can get the KO on the counter, then you don't have to worry about follow-up attacks. With that said, Wyvern Yumi has a staggering 6 might. That is lower than the regular brave bow, so you need to have incredibly high base attack like Heath here, plus you definitely want all the extra damage perks you can stack on top. One way to do this is with a special proc, which can activate on your second hit. Unfortunately, archers can't use steady breath, and heavy blade is questionable with a 6 might weapon. It can work though. I think the true potential of Wyvern Yumi may require outside help like Thor's Worldbreaker or someone like Bravely Seen as Refine. For builds, we have a very interesting banner because all its units are slower flyers with dual phase brave weapons. Ranged enemy phase flyers are generally in an awkward spot due to lack of tank related skills. Since Wyvern Yumi is dual phase though, he can go for mixed phase skills to make sure he has damage at any time. Attack and defense catch is good because it does not rely on positioning and works on either phase. Heath already hits 50 defense with just 1 skill. While you can run more res boosters to fight off mages, my biggest gripe with defensive flyers is that they just take free extra damage from archers. If you stack a ton of defense, that may let Heath survive a shot, but potentially still take decent damage. If that does happen, and this includes taking a magic hit too, then you can just use the simple Vantage B skill to get the first shots off during the enemy phase. Like Altina, the old Vantage Brave Attack cheese can work fine if you have enough damage. Watch out for Hardy Bearing though. Another option is Quicker Post for enemy phase quads. You have to tank 2 hits from the attacker first though. The main playstyle option is just going to go for KO in your first 2 shots. While Far Trace plus Rain debuffs are a fun time, we have a new option in Sealed Defense 4, which I will talk more about later. Basically, it can give you a massive -11 debuff to use in combat, and if the foe has defense penalties active, you're going to get guard. This works on either phase, which suits our Wyvern Yumi, and Heath ups his KO power by a good amount. You can pair this with Defense Rain for more debuffs, or you can try Impact A skills with Attack and Defense Menace for extra player phase presence. Oath for self buffs for warping is another viable choice. If you just stick to enemy phase, you can go for Close Foil. Mystic Boost 4 grants attack debuffs now, and there is the option of IO'd Shield. For specials, unless you use Heavy Blade, we have no other cooldown perks, which limits you to 2 cooldown specials. If Heath can get support from units like Thor though, then you can trigger things like Bonfire or Deadeye on that second brave hit. To me, this is where the dual phase brave weapons can shine, but you need other allies. Something I'll mention as a fun option is a Whitecap bow with some speed investment. Heath has very high base attack, and Whitecap bow can also get brave attacks. It essentially has 17 might compared to Wyvern Yumi's 6 might, and you get 7 extra speed with a stat refine. Heath doesn't need to be the fastest unit, you only need to outspeed by 10 to brave attacks, so maybe this could let him bunker bust some tankier units. If you prefer other defensive options, we have Spindrift Bow, which you can stack debuffs with, and there are the Curtly Bow for damage reduction from Dancer Quan. Overall, Ninja Heath is a rather rare unit type and has some options to experiment with since Wyvern Yumi is a dual phase Brave Bow. If we continue to get more beast options for range flyers like tier 4 Seals or Mystic Boost 4, then that would be good moving forward. Next up we have Ninja Cherche, and the devs finally made her say her name, so we kind of have a pronunciation now. Funny enough, this Cherche is kind of like a 2.0 version of her original launch form with some slight differences. She is once again an axe flyer, and for stats has 43 HP, 44 attack, 20 speed, 44 defense, and 32 resistance. She has an attack super boon which is already incredibly high, and Cherche has one of the highest base defense stats for any flyer. Her res is also quite high, all things considered. For old skills, we have Ignis for big burst damage if it goes off, and Cherche has attack and defense near trace 3, solid option for Kanto, and you get some debuffs which are both useful. For our weapon, we have the Wyvern Oh No, which is what you'll be saying when you get hit by it. It has 11 might, and like Heath's inheritable bow, it grants plus 5 defense and res in exchange for minus 8 speed, and you get the dual phase brave attacks. The extra benefit for Cherche is that she gets Spring Maria's bonus true damage and flat damage reduction, scaling off of 20% of her defense stat. The devs really like this mechanic. With Wyvern Oh No, if you can get plus 1 defense from anywhere, that's going to put Cherche at 50 defense, which means she'll get 10 true damage and 10 flat damage reduction. Any extra damage is amplified by 2 brave attacks, so that's 20 extra damage for Cherche right there. I think she'll be okay with only 11 starting might. For her new inheritable passive, we have attack and defense hold, inflict -4 attack and defense on foes within 3 spaces during combat. Hold C skills have the same debuff value as range skills, but their larger debuff range makes it easier to support other allies. Not a bad upgrade if you have a fleet of flyers in formation. For personal combat though, it makes no difference. For the most part, everything I said about Heath can apply to the 5-star units as well. With dual phase brave attacks, you can use Vanish to double tap first, you can quad with quicker posts, and in general, you got 0 speed to work with. For Cherche, she gains extra benefits from stacking defense, which wasn't an issue, but to be honest, you don't have to go super insane since you already easily can get 10 true damage and 10 flat damage reduction. You can run catch skills for stats on either phase, and Cherche's near trace and hold combo combine for -7 attack and defense debuffs, which are great. Those debuffs are always active, and you got Kanto near trace for a little bit of hit and run action. If you want bigger damage potential, Seal Defense 4 once again can shine. If we get attack and defense oath 4 in the future, that would be fun for warping. For Cherche, she could maybe use heavy blade 4 as well, ideally with her near trace and hold debuffs, since those benefit the attack check. That way you can proc Ruptured Sky, Glimmer, or Moonbow on your second hit, maybe try out a little Gale Force action. It also has 5 true damage, so with Wyvern Oh No, you may be able to use pure true damage into a tanky red foe and deal some respectable damage into them. If you did want to go for a little more defensive though, Cherche has a little extra protection from archers thanks to her flat damage reduction. If you stack tons of defense, you can definitely tank 1 shot at least, and then fire back with 2 brave hits and something like distant counter. Unlike Heath, Cherche can also just use guard bearing. That lets her combine percent damage reduction with flat damage reduction, just like Brave Dimitri. Very disgusting combo, albeit guard bearing works 1 time in the enemy phase. If you want to fight continuously, you could try Mystic Boost 4 for -5 attack debuffs and the 10 HP sustain. For mixed phase, you could use Attack Smoke 4 to deny a follow-up attack, but that does require you to attack first. I'll once again mention special cooldown support like Thor's Worldbreaker. If you run Distant Counter, Worldbreaker lets Cherche charge up and unleash Ignis on her second hit. That assumes no guard, but cooldown reduction can make brave weapons very strong, so do keep an eye on it. Overall, I feel like Ninja Cherche is a solid unit. If you thought her kit sounded familiar, well, that's because it is. Ninja Laegjarn from 2 years ago is also a slow tanky dual phase Brave Axe user. She has a half Blade Tome type attack boost, but Cherche's defense getting true damage can get even higher, and you got the flat damage reduction too. I would say Cherche kinda just does her job, but better. Next up is Ninja Camilla, who could potentially be the deadliest unit on this banner. She is a red flying mage, and for stats, she has 38 HP, 43 attack, 19 speed, 32 defense, and 40 resistance. She has an attack and res super boon. Ideally, you want both. Similar to Duo Thor, Camilla has some of the highest attack and res stats for a flying mage. She will be using them in a different way though. For old skills, Camilla has Glimmer as her special. She has the very fun Close Salvo for close counter with +5 attack on either phase. You then got attack and res hold for -4 attack and res debuffs. Like the other Wyvern ninjas, Flowery Scroll grants +5 defense and res at the cost of -8 speed, and Camilla has dual phase brave attacks. This tome has 8 might, and it also accelerates specials. You then got the big effect that will make Camilla real annoying, is that if the foe initiates combat and Camilla has more resistance than them, she gets advantage. So, Flowery Scroll combines Dual Phase Brave attacks with accelerated specials, and Camilla has what is essentially Res Preempt. Winning a Res check lets her attack first, and this just simplifies the Brave attack plus Vanish Cheese combo. Camilla not only starts with 40 base res, but this tome grants another +5, and she has multiple ways to debuff the foe's res. While we have more ways to deal with Vanish nowadays, it never ceases to be extremely annoying. Maybe the devs have some PTSD from Vanish Bonfire Hectors or something, and that's why we can never get a refine for him. To complement her weapon, Camilla introduces Seal Res 4, and finally, we can talk more about these B skills and why I keep mentioning them for our recent builds. The Tier 4 Res B skills I think are finally good. They come with 4 effects. First, inflict -4 res on the foe during combat. This is always active. Second, if the foe has no effects that neutralize penalties to their res stat, inflict an in combat res debuff equal to 7 minus the current penalty on their res stat. Okay, so this part confused me at first, but I think I understand it, plus I tested it. If the foe does not neutralize res debuffs, you inflict -7 res in combat, and this brings our total debuffs up to -11. That is gigantic, especially for brave weapons that are hitting twice. However, this second debuff is actually going to be lower if the foe has real on-field res debuffs. That is very odd, but it's okay because essentially it just tries to balance out the total debuffs to -11. If the foe can neutralize res penalties though, you get nothing. For the third part of this effect, if the foe does have that res debuff active, inflict guard on them. Last, we have the base effect of the tier 3 seal skills, which is largely not that important. Inflict -7 res on the foe after combat. To simplify, just know that the tier 4 seals basically try to inflict their -7 after combat debuff at all times. It didn't help to debuff the foe after the fight is over, but now, essentially they will get debuffed at the start, and for good measure, you get a bonus -4 on top. While you can't double dip on actual res penalties for higher magnitudes of damage, you instead will get guard, and this works on either phase. Ranged flyers and cavaliers cannot run flow guard, and base guard B skill ain't that amazing. Now you can get mixed phase guard with a whole bunch of extra damage. The Wyvern Ninjas kinda just care about the damage part, but if they do get doubled, guard can prevent a special proc. I've mentioned the tier 4 seals on units like Petra, Python, and Yoon because their ranged cavalier or flyer classes just don't have a lot of other options. You can go with Far Trace, but I do think the tier 4 seal B skills can be quite fun. Now let's put everything together to see why Ninja Camilla may be quite a monster. It's really simple. If she wins the res check, you have brave attacks first, and you have accelerated specials which can proc Glimmer on the hit number 2. Close Salvo grants +5 attack with close counter. Seal Res 4 inflicts -11 resistance on the enemy. Combine that with attack and res hold for another -4 res. That gets Camilla 15 extra damage, which is double thanks to brave hits. That -15 res also helps her win her res check, so yeah, this is a very disgusting setup. Super simple, and basically she will cheese any squishy unit with low res to try to attack first. If you want to proc Iceberg in 2 hits, add Thor or New Year's Valoria for extra cooldown reduction. You can use Heavy Blade as well, but that will replace another attack boost in Sacred Seal. Either way, that's about it. If Camilla does get touched, she has some decent bulk, although she will be getting doubled pretty much all the time. You could try to boost her defense, but obviously she wants all the attack possible, and you do need resistance for the res preempt check. Honestly, you could try to go for a full range combat build by replacing close counter with attack and res catch or attack and res unity. Back Camilla up with a near safe armor of your choosing. For the most part, Camilla may still be annoying even if the foe has something like Hardy Bearing. She will not go down easily, so she could just tank a hit, then retaliate like usual. The only thing she doesn't stop is Fire Sweep type effects. Mystic Boost can stop Dazzling Staff now, but that's about it. You can't use Vantage if you can't fight back. The other major issue, which kind of curbs units like the Reinhardt, is damage reduction. Camilla can deal some big damage, but if she doesn't get the KO, she faces getting doubled and killed. Damage reduction has really messed with these types of high damage units. Let's not even get started on defensive specials and hardy fighter. If mages can get a way to pierce damage reduction effects, Camilla has good potential to use it. Definitely keep an eye out for that. Overall, Ninja Camilla will be a fun unit. Initiate to attack first, or well, you let the enemy initiate and you still attack first. It feels so damn bad when you lose because of Vantage. In terms of fodder, Camilla can offer all of her tier 4 skills. You can get close counter plus close salvo. Seal Res 4 only needs the original tier 3, which you can grab from Ray. If you did get extra Halloween Nagas, she had attack and res rain 3, so that lets you grab the hold version. Now if you don't need close counter, then you can just also grab attack and res rain 3 with Seal Res 4. Pretty good value all around. Last up for this banner is Duo Ninja Laegjarn and Fjorm. The two made up last year as Ascended heroes, so now they're here as a duo. Duo Laegjarn will be a blue flying archer with 40 HP, 44 attack, 19 speed, 37 defense, and 38 resistance. She has an attack super boon and is a bit more min-maxed than Heath. Decent defense and res, and Laegjarn can definitely boost those further. For old skills, we got Old Reliable Moonbow. Attack and res catch 4 is nice, and attack smoke 4 to get some enemy phase power. Follow-up denial would be pretty good for their non-existent speed stat. Laegjarn's bow has all the trimmings as Camilla's tome, accelerated specials, plus 5 defense and res, minus 8 speed, and dual phase brave attacks. Then it grants bonus attack, defense, and res during combat equal to 70% of the higher value between total bonuses on the target or the total bonuses on an ally within 2 spaces of Laegjarn. As usual, Laegjarn is doing something wonky with field buffs, and this time is no different. Basically, if the foe is buffed up, Laegjarn totals all their buffs up and adds 70% of that value to her stats except for speed. Normally, Laegjarn totaled up her own field buffs as well, but instead this time she takes the total from a nearby ally. This means it's a bit tougher to use since you have to buff another unit. However, you can also think of it like Ashura's ally blade tome effect. If the foe neutralized Laegjarn's field buffs, then you solely relied on the enemy. Now, Laegjarn can lose her own buffs, but she just borrows some from a friend. Also important, the last 2 times this totaling of buffs happened, there was a cap on the max value. There is no cap this time. As an example, if the foe has plus 6 to all stats for a total of 24, 70% of 24 is plus 16 to attack, defense, and res. Sure, the enemy is buffed up too, but Laegjarn buffs herself up even more to match it. If you have a nearby ally also fully buffed up, this can act as a secondary way to secure those bonus stats. I do recommend finding a team who can buff up everyone basically. As for their dual skill, third year of ninjas means a third Gale Force dual skill. Unit can get another action, but only works if they fought at least one time in the current turn. Similar idea to Gale Force, you must fight to use this skill, but since ranged units can use cannot use Gale Force, this is a pretty valuable ability. You can use it with Fortress for extra movement options, and in general, it allows Laegjarn to take out another enemy or just retreat further backwards. Solid skill, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Last new skill for this banner is Seal Defense 4, which is just the defense version of the tier 4 Seal B skills. Works exactly the same, just with defense debuffs, and like Camilla, this can offer a potential minus 11 defense debuff, which is a ton of extra damage when you're brave attacking. Like its counterpart, you only need Seal Defense 3 to inherit it. You can find that on Obero at 4 stars. In terms of playstyle, pretty similar idea as Camilla, minus the Vantage part. That means Laegjarn's gonna need to get a bit physical, but if you can activate the bonus stats from Flame Frost Bow, then you may be okay. Definitely try to fully buff up with your team and keep them nearby. I think the main issue with this weapon is when you initiate, you may not be near a teammate. That means the bonus stats depend fully on the enemy, which is not reliable. In terms of builds though, base kit is fine to keep. Seal Defense 4 is here to add a ton of extra damage, and this time you may want some defense debuffs to proc guard. Attack and res catch 4 is fine as well, and attack smoke 4 is good too, but it doesn't apply defense debuffs. Maybe regular defense smoke 3 or defense and res smoke 3 may be better to spread those debuffs after combat, plus that lets Laegjarn use her dual skill to attack other enemies. You can also just use attack and defense menace to actually apply debuffs to your closest enemy. If you wanted to be a bit more defensive, you could use the Fortress plus Rain or Hold combo to stack minus 7 attack debuffs like Cherche. That's fine, but you could also use Mystic Boost 4. If you wanted to go for close counter, then Laegjarn can take some hits, but you probably still want to try and kill on the counterattack. There is also the option of Vantage, but that takes up a slot. Camilla gets to use Vantage and run Seal Res 4 to get more out of it. Now like Camilla, Laegjarn will be able to pop specials pretty fast. If she takes a hit first, that's an extra charge. So you could charge and proc Deadeye on your second brave hit. You could also just use Heavy Blade to activate Deadeye in 2 shots for your player phase power. Speaking of which, you could try impact skills for a follow-up denial on the player phase, you proc attack smoke 4, and then you have follow-up denial on the enemy phase. Any flyer mobility skill would be fun too, as you can use your warping to get off 2 quick hits. All in all, Duo Laegjarn won't have Vantage like Camilla, but she can amass quite a bit of stats if you're prepared. If an ally has that full +6 field boost, then Laegjarn gets that +16 extra attack for her Brave Bow, which is crazy. You also get +16 defense and res, and the weapon grants a flat +5 to both of those stats too. Literally a flying battleship with double barrel main cannons. Unlike Camilla, Laegjarn does have an answer to damage reduction thanks to Deadeye. Good luck against Hardy Fighter though. That'll be it for this banner breakdown. Let me know your thoughts on our third year of ninjas. While this is generally a 180 from the usual speedy, quad attacking ninja brave weapons, Ninja Laegjarn did try this tanky flying dual phase brave build out. We got some fancy new skill options and upgraded weaponry this time though. If you're not summoning, out now is the Tempest Trials event featuring Ninja Har. We will also have a peek at another character who may be wielding our next rearmed arcane weapons, so you may want to pay attention to that. That'll be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.